Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Boy Erased. Another LGBT-centered film that is making its way into at least a semi-wide release and somewhat the mainstream consciousness. And this is actually the second LGBTQ film of the year to deal with conversion therapy. The trailers clearly looked amazing. The true story is obviously heartbreaking, as literally any story having to do with conversion therapy is. And it looked like a well-crafted film. Joel Edgerton's first directorial effort was highly praised. It was really fun, really innovative looking. It was fresh. So of course I was excited to see what he was going to bring to Boy Erased. And I have to say, this is a really, really good film. So let's go ahead and start off with those positives. First and foremost, in the forefront, the biggest positive of this film is the acting performances. They are absolutely stellar. Lucas Hedges taps into such a beautiful vulnerability in such subtle ways. It is such a genuine, authentic, and wonderful character to watch realized on screen. I never felt like acting. I never felt like I was watching a character or an actor playing someone else. It felt like a real human being. And that was greatly down to Lucas Hedges' portrayal. Russell Crowe is maybe the best I've seen him in years. I thought he was very good in this movie. He has a much smaller role, but oh, he's so effective in every scene he's in. Joel Edgerton is also very good. It's a tough deal to write the script, direct the movie, and be a part of it, act in it, but he's very strong. Who I actually find to be the standout, probably right next to Lucas Hedges, I think they're about on the same level, was Nicole Kidman. I think she gives an amazing performance in this film. Right from the first time we even see her, all the way through to the end of the movie. Much like Hedges, it is filled with so much subtle emotion and realism. She's so good. Oh, nobody hits you in the heart in this film like Nicole Kidman does. It's also a beautiful looking film. It is really, really directed well. Again, Edgerton is able to add in some beautiful flair to the movie. He's able to spice it up. I will say I think maybe the stale lighting was a bit overdone. As intentional as it seemed, it was a little bit much. But overall, the camera work, the shot selection, the editing, all was done fantastically well. What I appreciated was the subtle power of the movie at large, which I think goes largely credited to the director. As I was sitting there at the end of the film, I was like, that was a really strong movie. But I noticed as I was driving home, as I was getting back, as I continued to think on the film and about what it was, the more emotionally invested and infected I found myself with this movie. This is going to be one of those slow burns that really sticks with me for some time. It really is an impactful and resonant film, and it does so in such a quiet and powerful way. And I really do appreciate that. We don't need everything just thrown in our face. We don't need big, bold, and brash all the time. So I appreciated that Edgerton was still able to make an effective, smart, powerful movie, but one that kind of slowly eases its way into that. And of course, the story itself is really one that needs to be told. And as the film states at the end, 36 states still have it legal to submit your minors into conversion therapy. And that is, I mean, atrocious. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this film, I think, will succeed well in kind of reaching out to others, because only the conversion therapy camp itself is really villainized. I think that parents are handled beautifully well, and they are not shown in this demon light, this like crazy religious bigot light. They're shown with their religious beliefs and their religious convictions, but as humans, and kind of where we go from there and why they choose to do what they do. However wrong or ill-conceived those choices are, they still root it in realism, and I thought that was done really well. But yes, the atrocities of what conversion therapy does to these kids, how they want to get better, to be fixed, and will put up with this mental and physical abuse for it. It needs to continue to be told until it's just outlawed across the United States. I mean, this is a form of torture, honestly. And it's appalling that so many states, a good 3/4 of the United States, still allows it to happen. It's pretty alarming. As for the negatives in the film, so there's a lot of criticism that goes on with LGBTQ films for the mainstream, that they're gay films made for straight audiences. And I have to say, I think this one in particular really felt like it was made for straight audiences. Now, that's not really an outright negative. However, there was literally no affection. We don't even get a same-sex kiss in this film that I even noticed. And that's really kind of shocking to me in a film like this, that we wouldn't even really see any sort of like same-sex affection happen on screen. And it bothered me a little bit, if I'm being honest. I think it needs to happen. We need to get to that point where if you're telling a story about LGBTQ issues, you need to represent them in such ways. Just period, point blank. It needs to happen. At the very least, we need some sort of that love happening on screen. So I was really disappointed that it was completely absent from this film. And really, warmth in general is completely absent. I'm more than positive that is intentional. But I think it makes it a little bit rough to get any sort of impact at the end. I think the ending doesn't quite stick the emotional hit that the filmmakers are intending. And instead, you get that lingering emotional effect, which is still great, as I said in my positives. But that heavy lack of any sort of warmth makes it hard to emotionally start to connect and invest. The film is also a very slow burn, and I think what makes it feel a little bit slow is the fact that Joel Edgerton really builds up tension with music and kind of like builds this tense feeling throughout, but then we don't get big payoffs. We don't get necessarily satisfying payoffs to those moments of tension when the levity comes. So I think pacing maybe was a small issue, not really a big deal to me personally, but just be prepared that it is not filled with action, filled with big dramatic moments. It is a slow burn. But overall, I think it's an interesting story, and a story that needs to be told. As I said, these type of stories need to continue to be told until something is done about conversion therapy. Troye Sivan is in this film also. I didn't mention him earlier, but he was also really good. I think maybe that glimpse could segue him into an acting career if he wants it, and his music fit with the film perfectly well. So overall, this is definitely a very strong film. So for quality of film, I say seek this out and give it a full price ticket. It is very... The acting alone is worth a full price ticket, but this film is so much more than that, and really will leave you feeling and thinking, and maybe even a bit sad, but maybe that's what needs to happen. This gets a full price ticket from me. So, that is my review of Boy Erased. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Boy Erased? And what is your favorite film dealing with conversion therapy? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!